or 7 emails to people that I saw that were in my Bold Trail dashboard who had come back and looked at properties for the first time in a while. I also, what was that? Oh, I guess that means my video is rendered. Sorry about that. I also, what else have I done? I talked to one of my active cash buyer investors. I've sent several that I had knocked out, but I would love to hear or see in the chat. And you could either you could say what specifically you've done, or just share that you have done something. You have in fact done something to grow your business. Okay, so I want to start today with a quote from Russell Brunson. Russell Brunson is the founder of ClickFunnels. He has nothing to do specifically for real estate agents, but ClickFunnels, if you're into internet marketing, online marketing at all, it's a pretty big thing, a pretty big deal. And the quote is, wins and losses don't mean everything. It's who you become during the journey. And so I think having goals and targets is important. And also, what's more important in my experience is how you grow and who you become in the pursuit of that goal or target. And, because the reality is, if you hit that target, most of you then just move the target, myself included. So for example, last year, my goal was 50 closed transactions. I'm going to be just short of it for 2026. My goal for this year is 100. And I am certain of a couple of things. Number one, if I hit it, that'll be fun and exciting. Number two, what I have to do and who I have to become to do that, and also have the time to help and support and grow what we're doing with Lead Deck, et cetera, is going to force me to grow as a leader and as an entrepreneur. So one way or another, I'm going to be better for having worked towards that target for the next 12 months. So focus on who you are becoming on the journey, not just the destination itself, right? It's the journey, not the destination. I thought this was something that, particularly as we turn into a new year, was a cool and interesting frame or perspective that would make sense to share. I got this from a podcast I was listening to over the weekend. The guest was Chris Williamson. I forget what his podcast is. And he shared something that I had never heard this context or perspective before, and I just thought it was really good. Think about your whatever area of life you have identified as an area you want to improve here in 2026. It could be business, it could be fitness, it could be family, whatever. And look at that from the perspective of an audience watching your life as a movie on the screen. We have all been to movies where it was so obvious to you, the person watching, that the main character was about to, walk into something perilous, or it's so obvious to you that the main character should break up with the girl. And I'm not saying anybody should break up with but in many cases, it is very clearly obvious to others what you need to cut off or change or pivot to, and it's just not to us. I'm sure you've all experienced this, right? We all give better advice than we take ourselves. And so there might be something in your life that would be helpful for. I thought it was an interesting and different frame or reference point that I hadn't heard or seen shared before. So, all right, actually, before I get into the game plan, I wanted to tie up some loose ends from yesterday. Number one, I promise by the end of the day today, we will have a an easy way for you to get access to the replays for those that want to go back and check out yesterday's. It's just we have a lot of we got a lot of things up in the air, and I can't just put them on YouTube. Although, actually, short term, if you go to Josh Shanley Coaching on YouTube, the replay is still there. Now, at some point, YouTube might tear that down because I was showing phone numbers and contact info and stuff. But for now, it's there. Long term, we have a plan. We just have to execute on the plan to, how we're going to house those, and then also creating sort of a Cliff's Notes and things that you can take and implement. I got a text after yesterday's session from Bob Murray asking for a couple of resources that weren't necessarily referenced yesterday, but they are relevant in some form or fashion because I was talking about a new listing that I was, we were doing some marketing on. So I'm going to drop in our chat here 2 resources that may be helpful if you have a new listing that you are launching and want to follow sort of a checklist and a plan for implementing, or if you man, I got too many things going on here, too many devices and pop-ups and so forth. Or if you have a stale listing that you would like to, get some activity on. So these are just some resources. They're free. They're Google Docs. They were brought back to mind by Bob's text to me yesterday. Okay. Shorter session today than yesterday, for sure, because I have a workshop at 11 a.m. that you are all welcome to join if you would like. Many of you have already participated in it, so don't feel obligated to. But you can register at onedealaweek.com. It's my simple 3-step blueprint for closing a deal a week every week. And for that reason, and the fact that I'll have to regroup and maybe fuel up a little bit in between, this is going to be about an hour this morning. Okay, about an hour this morning. And my plan and what I had shared to dig into is calls, texts, and emails to some buyers and off-market sellers, because I know that I forget who it was, but somebody had asked about process and a plan for off-market sellers, getting off-market sellers to raise their hand. If I have time, I'm going to promote my other coming soon listing. Quite honestly, that's a simple thing and something I can do later. So we'll see about that. I need to do a CRM sweep, and the text bump that is a follow-up or the a piece of the action plan that I started yesterday. So yesterday I scheduled out the email that will send an updated home value update. A home value update email to everyone in my database that I have email and a property address for. So I'm going to do the text bump today. And then tomorrow you'll see the follow-up, which is where the money is made, the follow-up to the people who have actually gone and looked at their dashboard. Campbell.
Hey, Josh, quick suggestion. I'm going to give you one that Smarty does. For something like that with your promoting your coming soon listing, do that separately as just one video. Then you've got a resource that you can share from that point forward with this team and others on your EXP team.
Yeah, and there are a bunch of those in one of the docs that I shared as well. But that is a valid point. I have it as part of a bunch of other videos. But it's been a while since I've shot it as a standalone. So I will do that. I'll record that as a loom, and I'll actually add that to this listing launch process checklist, because I don't see one that is specifically.
And Josh, when you do it that way, you're not in a hurry because of time limits. You can take your time and go through it and explain the steps, where if you are handicapped today by 11 o'clock hard stop, it's probably best to do it that way.
Yeah, and it's going to be
that when you're done with it.
It's going to be a 10:30 hard stop, just for full transparency. Oh, look at this. I got a motivated seller lead come in. So I'm going to kick this thing off with a bang. I'm calling Carol Rumberger. Hi, is that Carol? Yeah. Carol, good morning. This is Josh with the eXp Realty. I was calling because it looks like you had submitted your property on one of our sites looking for an offer, the one on Columbia Ave in Camp Hill. Is that right? What's that? Yeah. Oh, okay. Any idea or thoughts on how much you're looking to get for it? Okay. Okay. Well, I can certainly put together some info on values, what the internet thinks it's worth, as far as what comparable homes are selling for in the area, and send that over to you by email if that works. I have Carly32207 at Yahoo. Okay. Is it something where you're just kind of starting to explore the process, or are you relocating? What has you thinking about it? Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. And would you be staying in Central PA, or moving somewhere, maybe somewhere warmer? Okay. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. And do you go by Carly or Carol? Carol. So what I can do is I will get that info together for you and email it over to you later this morning. And then if or whenever the time is right, I can walk you through some different offer options that we have, and what all of that looks like whenever the time is right. Awesome. Well, thanks for the time, Carol. I'll send that over. And this is my personal cell phone. So if you have if you have questions, or you're not sure, whatever, you feel free to give me a buzz or shoot me a text. Thanks, Carol. Bye-bye. So normally on those cash offer motivated seller leads, they have some idea of what they're looking for. She for whatever reason, she was just kind of curious on the value. So her reply was, well, I don't really know because I don't know the value. So she wants information on the value first and foremost. And I'm going to take a quick little straw poll. Should I now do that, meaning demonstrate how I put that together, including a Loom video, or should we revisit that, or should I document that as a standalone, as Campbell had recommended earlier? I'll take a little straw poll. Any thoughts or feedback? I'm happy to take it wherever. I'm going to have to do it at some point, but I can do it later.
Let's
go for it, Josh. What the heck?
All right, let's do it. So the first place I'm going to start is,
where did she come from, Josh?
Providers that I've been using.
Start at the beginning.
Yep. So motivatodsellers.com. Since I brought it up, I'll share another resource. My recommended list of pay-per-lead providers. Here it is. Of which one of them is motivatodsellers.com. That is the one that I would say, and I apologize. It seems like my internet is getting a little choppy or something. We put this doc in the chat. So that is someone that, and these different providers have different ways of getting people to submit properties. And some of it is Google pay-per-click. Some of it is Facebook or Instagram. Some of it is outbound text and email, which we should have time for me to demonstrate, how I do that through LeadDeck this morning. And some of them use a variety of those strategies. These are the ones that I have used or am currently actively using and have had some degree of success with, for those who are interested. So step one for me is I use fastcashoffers.ai, which is my white label version of iList. And I'm gonna pop in her address so I can pull cash offers, and I'll get 4 unique estimates of value, which is also, this is the software that I use or in conjunction with the email that I scheduled out yesterday, which will have people looking at their dashboard probably while we're still live this morning. Okay. So ranges from 233 up to Redfin 249, REAPI 250. So let's call it 233 to 250, and then we've got single close cash offer options, dual close cash offer options, etc. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save the snapshot. Ones to show. I think, I don't know if it's my internet thing's down here. Let me just check to see that I'm on the right Wi-Fi. I am. By clicking these, I'll show what happens by me deselecting these. So deselect those. And now, what I have. What's that?